Arrested for soliciting a bribe, and rescue staff in Italy working in earnest to save trapped people. Good morning. A policeman assigned to the Beitbridge border post has been arrested by the Hawks after allegedly soliciting a bribe. Police spokesperson Hangwani Mlaudzi says the warrant officer works at the border's vehicle identification section. Mlaudzi says the policeman was handling a case in which a Gauteng-based suspect was arrested for being in possession of a stolen vehicle. The policeman allegedly asked for a 10,000 rand bribe to assist the man with the case. The Hawks then arrested the policeman in Musina. He will appear in the Musina Magistrates Court on Monday. Since the beginning of the year, 52 police officers have been arrested in Limpopo and charged with corruption. Taxi drivers in Durban are expected to meet shortly to determine if taxi operations will resume tomorrow. Hundreds of commuters have been left stranded following a taxi protest which began in the city on Thursday. Several churches and businesses have reported low attendance today since no taxis are operating. At Phoenix, about 50 taxi drivers went on the rampage at Bester's taxi rank, but police and the flying squad managed to restore calm. The Top Six, a union representing taxi operators in KwaZulu-Natal, says talks between them and the government will not go any further until the arrested members are released. About 60 taxi members were arrested for charges including loitering. The Johannesburg Emergency Services say they've responded to 2 fire incidents this weekend. Spokesperson Robert Mlaudzi says about 30 families in Alexandra have been left without homes after a fire razed their shacks. He says another fire occurred in the city centre, but no injuries were reported.
Around 20 to 30 shacks got burned. There was one patient who was treated for minor burns. We just want to thank the community of Alexander about the efforts in terms of our bucket brigade system, extinguishing the fire before the fire department arrives. Cause of the fire is alleged that it might be an unattended electrical stove.
Residents are going through the rubble looking for any material they can use to rebuild, as the SABC's Paul Magubane reports.
Ashes and rubbish are what remains after the shack fire on 6th Avenue in Alexandra. 22 people have been left homeless and are in a state of shock. They have lost all their belongings, including their identity documents. Meanwhile, some are going through the rubble looking for material they could use to rebuild their shacks. Poma Kubane, SABC News, Alexandra.
In international news, rescue workers are trying to verify reports that people are buried under rubble following an earthquake in northern Italy. 3 people have already been confirmed dead. The quake has caused thousands of others to flee onto the streets. The quake, which struck in the middle of the night, had a magnitude of 5.9 The BBC's Alan Johnston has the details.
Millions of people have been woken from their sleep in the most terrifying way, with the room shaking around them. But the epicenter was close to the city of Modena, and it is in that region that the worst of the damage will probably be found. Factories in rural areas have collapsed, and a number of historic structures like bell towers have been brought crashing down. Video footage has shown gaping holes and cracks torn in old buildings. Among the dead are 3 factory workers who were perhaps doing night shifts, and there are fears that more people are trapped under rubble.
And back home, the Limpopo male elderly soccer team, Vakalabye, will today participate in a tournament at the Nkuankwa Stadium outside Tzaneen as part of their preparation for a tour to the United States next month. The team will play its veterans counterpart in California and Washington. Today, the team is playing local teams, including an SABC soccer team in the province. It has been established by SABC employee Becca Ntsangwisi, who also manages the elderly women's team. Recapping the top story, a policeman assigned to the Beitbridge border post has been arrested by the Hawks after allegedly soliciting a bribe. I'm Garabo Malatsi. I'll have more news at noon.